Good evening, and welcome to the Spring 2013 Front Range Community College Larimer Campus Commencement Ceremonies. At this time, I'd like to ask the faculty, students, and staff to remain standing and invite the audience to join us in standing for the singing of our national anthem by the Front Range Community College Chamber Choir, directed by Nathan Hickel.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. A special thank you to Deb Throckmorton, Nathan Hickel, and the Chamber Choir for that excellent performance. Thank you. I'm so pleased that you've all joined us tonight as we celebrate the graduation of the class of 2013. My name is Bruce Walters, and I have the privilege of serving as the campus vice president for the Larimer campus of Front Range Community College, and the honor of presiding over tonight's festivities. At this time, I want to recognize one of our students and graduates, David Bova, who played the prelude music for us this evening. David, thank you. It was wonderful. I'd like to introduce the dignitaries that we have on stage, and I'll ask them to stand and wave. Starting here next to the podium, President of Front Range Community College, Mr. Andy Dorsey. A member of the State Board for Community Colleges and Occupational Education, Ms. Maury Doby. Our speaker this evening, Mr. Darren Pape of Wolf Robotics. State Senator John Kafalis. State Representative Randy Fisher. State Representative Dr. Joanne Janal. And the recipient of the Master Teacher Faculty Award for 2013, Ms. Noelle Vincent. Starting back on this end again, Ms. Naomi Young, winner of the Larimer Campus Outstanding Student Award. Dr. Sandy Veltri, college-wide Vice President for Academic Affairs. And Deans of Instruction, Dr. Lisa Donaldson, Dr. Kim Dale, and Dr. Shashi Unitan. Our Dean of Student Services, Dr. Jana Schwartz. The President of the Student Government Association, Ms. Marissa Slezak. And last but most certainly not least, the President of the Faculty Senate at the Larimer campus, Mr. Matt Stillwell. Now, the commencement is the pinnacle of what we do at Front Range Community College. We gather to recognize students who have achieved their educational goals with us or part of their educational goals with us. and we recognize this milestone in their journey. It's a celebration for all of us as well. We have seen these students come into the college, we've worked with them, we've seen them grow, and you can't imagine how heartwarming it is for us to see these students who came to us perhaps with a lack of direction some time ago, cross the stage with new skills, new focus, and new determination. Last night in Loveland, we gathered to recognize nearly 350 high school students who went through our Career Pathways program. It's a high school program where they spend time on our campus and earn both high school and college credit for their training. And tonight, we celebrate our degree and our certificate students who are completing at historical rates at Front Range Community College. In fact, we've outgrown all the other venues in Fort Collins. We're now at the Budweiser Center, and from the looks of things, we might not be here that long. If we could only guarantee good weather at Invesco Field. So I want to give you a little idea of who these students are out here in these blue robes, many with gold stoles. Of over 9,600 students who enrolled at the Larimer campus this year, we're giving out over 225 degrees and certificates. It's almost an even split on the campus between male and female students. Average age is just over 26 years old. But that's right in the middle because we have students as young as 14 and our most seasoned student, 76 years old. In many ways, our population on our campus reflects the population of Larimer County. That's why community is so important. In fact, it's our middle name. So we're proud to be a part of the community, and we're glad that you've chosen to celebrate with us tonight. We have another population here, and those are our students that have served in the military. I'd like to ask our veteran students to stand up and let us thank you for your service. And students, I think you know that you could not have made it through all of this past number of months or years without the support of a lot of people. The faculty and staff here who have worked with you and helped you and mentored you, family and friends, significant others in the audience. I think it might be good form if you said a thank you to everybody else in the room as well. So now I'd like to introduce Ms. Maury Doby to give a welcome on behalf of the State Board of Community Colleges and Occupational Education.
Good evening, and thank you, President Andy Dorsey and Vice President of Larimer Campus, Bruce Walters. So graduates, this is your day. We came here to celebrate you, and so I'm going to make this very brief. Many people fail in life, not for the lack of ability, brains, or even courage. They simply fail because they have never organized their energies around one goal. Today is a celebration of how you organized your energies around a very important goal. You worked hard, you persevered, you had late nights, you juggled family, friends, kids. You had to have pushed yourself to be here at graduation day. Today is an amazing milestone, and the wonderful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. It is possibly the best thing you can do for yourself as you rise in your journey. It is possible to store the mind with a million facts and still be utterly uneducated. The objective of education is to prepare us to educate ourselves throughout our whole life. And we all know that it comes in many forms. It comes with smart, intuitive observation, being keenly aware of those around you, learning from others what to do, what not to do, listening with an open, empathetic mind, and using common sense. And as my dad always said, common sense isn't always so common. Educating yourselves to be using different educational tools like the use of optimism. And I really have observed that the most predominant quality of successful people is optimism. Your level of optimism is the very best predictor of how happy, healthy, wealthy, and long-lived you'll be. Another tool I've used is resilience and learning how to get knocked down. Life is about learning how to feel that it is okay to fail once in a while, but it really is learning of how to get up again, more educated than you were before. I love the quote from Catherine Mansfield: "Make it a rule of life never to regret and never to look back. Regret is an appalling waste of energy. You can't build on it, and regret is only good for wallowing in." But if you didn't get here without others, we know that Vice President Walters tried to get you to stand up and look at your families and thank them and clap for them. So would you do that right now with me? Is clap for your families, because it took them to get you here too. That was fun. That was fun. This really is an important milestone in your journey. You'll never regret it. And part of my role as a board member of the Colorado Community College system is to attend graduations like this around the state, like I'm doing tonight. The state board oversees the Colorado Community College system. It is the largest higher education system in the state, with 163,000 students in 12 different locations, including the Front Range Community College here, and 28 different locations around the state. So I never tire from saying congratulations when you're walking across the stage to hand you your diploma and shaking your hands. So be sure not to be shy. Have a strong grip when you rock across this thing. Don't be shy. This is your day. And I want to congratulate you one more time. But before I do that, I need to do what I came really to do, and that is, so I have to read this. And now, on behalf of the State Board of Community Colleges, Occupational Education, I grant President Dorsey the authority to confer the appropriate degrees and certificates. That's what I really came to say, President Dorsey. So, once again, congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Maureen. She was always more persuasive than I. You saw how the students stood up when she asked. So I give you a little picture of what our students are like, and still we hear people refer to college students as unmotivated, self-centered, lacking direction, zero work ethic. Those people have not seen Front Range Community College students, and they most certainly have never encountered Naomi Young. Naomi's path to Front Range Community College was not a traditional one. In fact, when she came to Front Range as a high school senior, it was the first time she stepped onto a public education classroom floor. She was homeschooled with the help of her family. Nick, Carrie, her siblings did an amazing job. I think you'll see that shortly. She got involved right away at Front Range. She got involved in everything at Front Range. She's a foundation fellow, and through that role, she managed a strategic planning event that she presented to 67 foundation scholars. And as a result of that session, the foundation board adopted 2 of her student success strategies: a college essentials guidebook and a scholar advisory committee. She got more involved. She's been a member of Phi Theta Kappa, the International Honor Society for 2-year college students. She's served as the foundation fellow, all while working 50 hours a week, both as a nanny and doing an internship in the DA's office in Fort Collins. She's also been involved with our honors program. She completed an honors research project in microeconomics, participated in the honors seminar, and in her spare time, She served as a student ambassador, giving tours of the campus to prospective students. Her nominator said she is a dynamo of positive influence and activity. And yet she's also humble and an unassuming young woman who sincerely wants to contribute and has contributed to our college community. I believe you could choose no better representative of the outstanding nature of our students, faculty, and staff at Front Range Larimer than Naomi Young. Naomi has set her sights high. I think she'll tell you a bit about that. But we're awfully proud to have her at Front Range, and I am proud to introduce the Outstanding Student Award winner, Naomi Young.
So I was told that this is my opportunity to say whatever I want to. And I want to get off my chest something I've been bottling up for 2 years. And it's what came up to me every time I tried to think of what I wanted to say today. This is the only thing I want to say. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to my community for making the diploma I am about to receive valuable to me. Thank you also for walking today. I know that you all showed up because that piece of paper is important to you too, but I want to give you the opportunity to reflect with gratitude on the value we place on those pieces of paper and on the price that we paid for them. So as community college students, we are acutely aware of the cost of our education. One of my favorite teachers likes to say that we pay $11.50 an hour for his lectures. I know that we all know lectures cost so much more than that. It costs the time not spent with your child. Costs time not spent at work or studying for another class. And I have the privilege of knowing many of you out there and what you paid for this diploma. The years in developmental math, the nights spent studying by your child's hospital bed, the espresso shots, tutors, extra shifts at work, and whatever courage it took to return back to school after decades. That piece of paper represents tuition, books, and wages lost in the choice to attend college. But this money is nothing compared to whatever got us through finals. I want to say thank you to my peers for not only demonstrating this amazing strength that I was just talking about, but for sharing it with me. I want to say thank you to a girl who had no idea who I was, but offered me a hug when she saw me crying in the ladies' room. I want to say thank you to another stranger who became a friend just by giving me her math notes, Manuela. I want to say thank you to students like Shannon Croft and Jason Sidoriak, who not only faced the challenges in their own life, but recognized that other students had the exact same struggles and have worked tirelessly to make this path smooth at this school for disabled and veteran students. Thank you to my wise friends, Shannon, Cecilia, and Rose, who told me that most of the things you worry about never happen. That when you have an ambition to touch the lives of 175 people, it's okay if you just touch one. And that the fastest way to class is the hypotenuse of a triangle. I want to say thank you to the administrators who have thoughtfully considered every insane idea I have, and for saying no so graciously sometimes that I actually felt flattered. Thank you for daily living and breathing your mission of enriching lives through learning, for the dedication to student success I have seen in your willingness to foster innovation and hire the very best faculty. Thank you to Karen, Gwen, Julie, Mary, and Naomi for always cheerfully helping with the details every project hangs on. I want to say thank you to the staff who build a foundation for student success in their daily efforts. Thank you to facilities for not only keeping everything running, but for conscientiously assessing our best practices in environmental stewardship. I should also mention thank you for letting me steal some of your space all semester for my foundation office. Thank you to advising, student life, conference services, and my bosses in outreach and enrollment for not only for being amazing bosses, for making the student experience holistic, and for caring so much about your chance to develop your student staff as individuals and as professionals. I want to say thank you to the foundation for taking a risk on a teenager by making me a fellow. Thank you for raising the funds that I have seen change so many lives, including my own, and for making it your mission to support and develop us. I want to say thank you to the faculty for sharing their passions and their talents with me, and for their dedication to academic excellence. Thank you, Jeff Borg, for 4 classes worth of rigorous academic experience. I have no doubt prepared me for the world. The fact that you nominated me for this award meant the world to me because I hold you in the highest esteem. Thank you, Alan Dinwiddie, for greeting my failure with kindness and helping me to succeed in algebra. Thank you, Doug Dotz, John Manley, Joe Uromi, Jeannie Mobley Tanaka, and Blair Oliver for going above and beyond by working with me on honors projects. And Nero Swatarai for encouraging me to dream the possible. Thank you to Chad Kirst for not only believing in my potential, but for taking the trouble to develop me and my belief in it. I want to say thank you to the unconditional love seated in the front row over there. My mom, my dad, my sisters, Jackie and Audrey. Jackie came from Pasadena today to surprise me. And to my brothers, David, Lucas, and John. And to Lark and Otis for not only being there today, but there's no doubt in my mind that you would still be my biggest fans if I had given up or fallen flat on my face. But thank you for being supportive so that I never did. There was a time when I would not have been able to give this speech, actually last semester probably, but I couldn't be more thrilled to stand here because I want you all to see me receive the piece of paper that you all helped me earn. I am so grateful to acknowledge that I could not and did not pay the true price of this diploma on my own. I want to thank the people in this auditorium for making me fearless enough to do the possible. I want you all to join me right now in this moment to silently say thank you. Thank you to whatever brought you here today. Thank you to ourselves. I am so grateful that each of us can look forward to a bright future because of the community represented here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi. I think we'll be hearing more from her. It's now my pleasure to introduce the president of the Faculty Senate for the Larimer campus, Mr. Matt Stillwell.
Good evening, everyone. This really is my favorite time of year, and as I look out on all of our graduates this evening, I feel a little giddy. I feel almost as if I'm going through it again myself. But I have an important task to accomplish this evening, and on behalf of the Larimer Campus Faculty Senate, I applaud the many efforts and sacrifices that have led our graduates to this evening. While this evening belongs to you, your friends, and your families, we do want to take a moment to recognize 2 Front Range Community College faculty members who stand for all the instructors who have contributed to your success. Each year, the Larimer campus presents 2 Master Teacher Awards to those faculty members who are committed to student learning and success in the classroom. Noelle Vincent, our full-time Master Teacher Award winner, is the director of the Interior Design Program, and she is certified for leadership in energy and environmental design, accredited professional interior design and construction. She is also a National Council for Interior Design Qualification accredited professional, and she is an alumna of Front Range Community College. Her nomination forms mention her concern for student needs, ability to motivate, and the personal attention she gives every student in her classrooms. Please join me in congratulating the full-time Master Teacher Award winner, Noelle Vincent.
Greetings to all of you fine academic successes, to all of your friends and families, all whom are very proud of you as adults. We're here to celebrate your success today of being diligent completers and wish you more success in finding your way into a career or your next move in academia. Either direction you take, more school or industry, I stand before you to share some of my feelings about future and you. When I first started college at FRCC, as Matt said, I was a straight C student. I hadn't found my love for school until I was well into a degree that really just made me tick. At that point, I just realized that I wanted A's altogether, so I was stuck in school for a very long time. It was at that moment that I learned that I've been waiting for this subject that I really found my passion in interior design. And it was truly a process of elimination. I tried everything from bartending, sales, business administration, and then when I found the field of interior design, I thought, well, I have to go back to school for 4 more years. If I were to look back on my classes, I would do anything to be challenged with another creative project in school. Man, those were the days. You too will look back and think, yeah, I really did enjoy that. What I would do to be a full-time student again. Well, like I mentioned, finding your passion career might turn out to be a process of elimination of one trial to the next. But think about this every time you open your door to opportunity. Try something new, a new title, new task, new position. Get out of your comfort zone and take risks in your career. You'll thrive. Everything you do is shaping your success as a good citizen. It is how you take the good, the bad, and how you treat people. I want to share with you just a couple concepts that I've learned coming from school, from industry, and academia, and that I still practice every day as a good friend, a good employee, a good wife, and a good teacher. Set goals for everything you want to do in your life. Reflect on them daily, and then T the P, something that I heard from a very infamous person, a mentor. That's trust the process. Trust that you're building your character, your legacy, one relationship at a time and one small job to the next. Learn from every small job, from every hard job, everyone who positively or even negatively impacts you, because it all adds up to your emotional intelligence, which is being aware of how people affect you without knowing it. And that awareness really defines you as a person. I feel very lucky that I found my dream job. I've also found my dream town, my dream husband, okay, stop, right. But on a serious side, I believe most of my happiness comes from recognition and beauty in my failure. Those failures have moved me in the right direction because I use them to motivate me. So listen hard, spin things in a positive light. You see, it's easy to say things aren't going my way. It's hard to say, I'm going to stare it in the face and ask why. Recognize what makes you happy. Work towards a career doing it, and unwavering, tenacious in your journey, and take a lot of risks. I've had the opportunity to share the classroom with some amazing people, you all in fact. Young adults, international students, mothers, fathers, ex-military, which is so amazing if you think about it. All of us in the same room with the same goal to discover our passion in our career. Some things to think about as you move into the workforce: be yourself, advocate for yourself in a positive way, recognize your accomplishments, and never settle for less. Be authentic day in, day out, while you're at work, while you're socializing. Please see the light in everything. As a very wise man, Conan O'Brien, once said, all I ask is one thing, and I'm asking this particularly of young people: please don't be cynical. I hate cynicism. For the record, it's my least favorite quality and it doesn't lead anywhere. Nobody in life gets exactly what they thought they were going to get. But if you work really hard and you're kind, amazing things will happen to you. Be good to yourself. Be good to your family and friends. Be an outstanding citizen and rock your industry. And just remember T to P, trust that process. Thank you.
Thank you, Noelle. Most students who have taken classes at Front Range Community College have taken a course from one of our many dedicated adjunct faculty members. This year's award winner teaches microbiology in the Natural Applied and Environmental Sciences Department and has made quite an impression on students and colleagues alike in just a short time at the college. In fact, he is such a solid instructor that he is currently serving for 2 weeks as a visiting professor at Trinity School of Medicine in Kingstown, which is the capital of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the Eastern Caribbean. He sends his sincere regret that he is unable to join us this evening, and he has written some words of encouragement that he asked me to share with our graduates. Please join me in congratulating Eric Arthun as our adjunct faculty master teacher for 2012-2013. I would like to begin by extending my most sincere congratulations to all of the graduates that are being honored today. It is a day of celebration, not only for you, but also for your families, for your friends, and for all the faculty that have played integral roles in your pathway to this important accomplishment. I encourage you to consider for a moment the dual significance of this gathering today. On one hand, it is certainly a notable endpoint, a culmination of countless hours of self-motivation, organization, preparation, and studying. You should indeed revel in this moment of happiness and achievement. But of even more importance, today also marks the beginning of a new chapter in each and every one of your lives. I would like to share with you a quote commonly attributed to the late Jim Morrison. "There are things known and things unknown, and in between are the doors." Today, you are at the threshold of those doors, and I encourage you to pass through them. The future is, among other things, always uncertain, but I can say with full confidence that your futures are bright. Don't forget the hard work and dedication that it took in the past for you to get where you are today. But I suggest that you don't spend too much time dwelling on it either. Life is but a collection of moments, and today is an extremely important one. However, the most important moments of your life may still be ahead of you across this threshold. Pass through those doors of uncertainty and be confident knowing that you have prepared yourself for whatever lies ahead. And if at all possible, I also suggest that you bring someone along. Use the tools that you have developed during your time at Front Range, not only for your own benefit, but also as a means to provide opportunities to others. The real rewards in life are commonly found not in your own accomplishments, but in those of others that you have helped along the way. But enough talk of the past and of the future. We are all gathered here today at this very moment in time to celebrate the accomplishments of each and every one of you. Congratulations, graduates. You've earned it. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day, and please be safe. Most sincerely, Eric Arthun.
Thank you, Matt, and congratulations, Noel. It's now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for this evening. Darren Pape is one of the founding principals of Wolf Robotics. You've probably seen them on Harmony Road as you drive down, waiting on the construction traffic for the railroad crossing signal. They started that business out of a similar business in 1996. I'm looking at Darren just for confirmation, and it's very clear he doesn't remember exactly when it was. But what they do is integrate robotic welding and cutting systems with robots, and they've installed over 8,400 systems around the world. And their niche in the manufacturing world is doing what they can't figure out to do another way. In fact, Wolf has kind of a mantra that they say: we think big, we love big things, and we dream even bigger things. They're a community partner with Front Range Community College. They work with us to train our students, to hire our students, and Darren especially serves on an advisory board to help us make sure that our curriculum is always state of the industry. They're committed to reshoring jobs back to the United States, to build on that booming economy that we're experiencing in Fort Collins. Darren is a proud Colorado native. I will often say that I'm an arrogant Colorado native. I think Darren is simply a proud Colorado native and a proud graduate of Colorado State University. And without any further ado, let me introduce Mr. Darren Pick.
What's next? Y'all look fine in your blue robes, your square tasseled hats, all decked out, ready to take on the world with confidence and competence, right? But what's next for you? Today on graduation day, I challenge you. What can you be great at? What inspires you? What are you going to do for a living? Hopefully, your time spent at Front Range Community College has prepared you for that next step, helped you to discover your passion and talents, and given you armor for your future. I'm honored to be here tonight to pose some important questions for yourself and your future. Thank you, Vice President Walters, Front Range Community College staff, faculty and staff, guests, and most importantly, graduates. Community colleges are unique. Some of you attended Front Range as a gateway to a four-year degree. Some of you are reinventing yourselves. Others are upgrading skills or pursuing passions you've had for years. Many of you have worked full-time while attending school full-time. Quick show of hands, how many attended school while working full-time? Okay, that's great. Many of you have received support from your family and parents along the way. I'll ask you one more time, if your family and parents are in the audience, give them a quick wave. Thanks, parents and family. Good. I congratulate everyone's effort, work, sacrifice, and money that you've put in along the way to get here. I've been associated with Front Range Community College for a few years now. I've met many great people working to grow and improve the programs, particularly welding and clean energy. People like Jason Walsh, Wendy Bailey, Clark Mosier, Lynn Vossler, Aaron Smith, and others. And the college certainly has grown and continues to grow. Try finding a parking spot these days. Front Range has a great team here. It's inspiring when I get calls from instructors promoting their students to me because they truly believe in and care for the student. And I hear directly from staff sharing with me that it's the students that inspire them to go to work each day. So I was contacted by Naomi Walsh of Front Range a few weeks ago with the invitation to present the commencement speech. My first response was silence. I was waiting for the punchline. As she continued, I could tell she was serious. In fact, there was a tone of desperation in her voice. So I asked her, Naomi, how many spots down the list did you have to go before you got to my name? She was honest. She said they checked with the Pope, he was busy. Then they checked with Governor Hickenlooper, his schedule was full. But after that, they decided they wanted somebody from the community. The commencement committee nominated me. Jason Walsh, Bruce Walters endorsed this. Knowing that convinced me. So here I am, Jason and Bruce, standing in front of over 1,500 people at a public speaking event, delivering a commencement speech. Thanks a lot, Bruce and Jason. I owe you one. Now, thinking back to my own graduation from Colorado State in 1990, I was trying to remember some details. I can tell you this, I don't remember much from the commencement speech. In fact, I don't remember who the commencement speaker was. You may not remember me in 20 years. However, I hope I make you think. One thing I do know is a lot has changed since I graduated. Imagine college without cell phones, without laptops. There's this thing now called the internet. It's full of tons of information. Wikipedia, Google, Pretty helpful for a college student. And speaking of Google, I Googled great commencement speeches to prepare for tonight. I saw many inspiring speeches from people like President Obama, Katie Couric, Bono, Adam Savage, that Mythbuster guy, Will Ferrell, and I formed my own conclusion of what makes for a great commencement speech. Be a famous person with a fascinating career. So I'm in trouble, right? I'm not a politician, I'm not a media reporter, I'm not an international rock star, I'm not a Mythbuster, although that would be fun, wouldn't it? I'm not a Saturday Night Live comedian, although I tell lots of bad jokes, just ask my kids. I'm an operations manager. Ask my wife if she thinks I'm a person with a fascinating career. She still occasionally asks me, what do you do for a living? It's particularly fun to listen to her try to explain it to one of her friends when she's asked what I do. But I will tell you this, I love what I do and I work for a great company, Wolf Robotics. I'm proud of my company. We've got a great team. We build awesome robotic welding systems. We built a machine a year ago that was big enough to take our company picture with 60 people standing on it. By the way, we love to do tours. Just don't all show up at once. A quick history for you. Our company started back in 1947. This is a farming community. And a company called Heath Engineering started making sugar beet harvesting equipment. Ownership changed hands over the years. We started getting into robotics in 1978. In 2003, we spun the company off and we formed Wolf Robotics. As we grew the company over the years, we followed some key principles that guided us. Some of the principles were from a book called Good to Great by Jim Collins, which I recommend you add to your reading list. One of his principles is called the hedgehog effect. From good to great. The fox spends its day figuring out how to attack the hedgehog in various cunning ways. But the hedgehog remains safe because it knows that it is better than anyone else at one thing, curling up in a ball of spikes. The point of this is that companies should know what their hedgehog is. They should know what they are the very best at. I believe this applies equally well to people as it does companies. The principle requires the intersection of three questions. Think of them as circles. First question, what are you passionate about? What do you enjoy doing? Think about this for yourself. What's in your circle? Second question is, what can you be great at? What skills and talents do you have? Think about this for yourself. What's in your second circle? Third question is, what can you actually make a living at? Again, think about this for yourself. What's in your third circle? Where these three circles intersect is your hedgehog. If you can find this, then you will experience a rewarding and inspired career. In fact, you're not really working. And this is advice that I believe in for myself and I share with my kids. My daughter's entering Front Range next fall. She has many talents, but we're still discovering what her hedgehog is. And as a parent, as a dad, as a loved one, we want our kids or our spouses to find a passion that they can be enthusiastic about. We want them to find something that they can excel at, and we certainly want them to find something that they can make a living at. All right, without that last part, making a living, it's hard to head out into the world. Kids tend to stick around, they don't move out. Not that we don't love them. When people do find their hedgehog, they can live truly inspiring lives. It's easy to think of celebrities and professional athletes as examples, where you've seen the three circles intersect. Actors like Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, two of my favorites, or athletes like Peyton Manning, LeBron James. They certainly have combined passion and talent and have gained from the financial rewards. It's also easy to see people from everyday walks of life, where we see people that have found their hedgehog. We see it forming in Naomi Young, the Outstanding Student Award winner, combining her talents and passion and moving forward to build a career. I see it in people I work with every day at Wolf Robotics and Front Range Community College faculty, Clark Mosier, Wendy Bailey, Jason Walsh. We see it in Noelle Vincent, the Interior Design Program Director, with her own fan club out there. Most of us have had an inspiring teacher during our school years. Well, guess what? That teacher was inspiring because they combined something that they were both passionate about and talented at, teaching. Last year, we hired one of our Front Range welding technology interns. Avery Whitmire is now one of our customer support engineers. When a robot system breaks down, Avery goes out to the customer site and fixes it. He's inspired about what he's doing. He excels at the technology. I see his circles intersecting. He's found his hedgehog. This semester, we have more outstanding interns working for us. Brett Cookson is one of them. Brett, can you raise your hand? Thank you, sir. Brett will be graduating tonight with a Clean Energy Technologies degree. I see in Brett his three circles intersecting. He's passionate about working with robotic equipment. He excels at applying his technical knowledge. And starting Monday, he'll be working with us full-time as a robotic technician. When you see people that have intersected their three circles, they typically inspire us. They bring an enthusiasm to their work. And you can see it in teachers, nurses, interior designers, and robotic technicians. So, Front Range Community College graduating class of 2013. What's next? What's next for you? My wish is that you find what you're passionate about, what you can excel at, and what you can make a living at. In other words, my wish for you next is that you find your hedgehog. Congratulations on your achievement and success of graduating. Thank you.
Ms. Doby, could you come to the, oh, you've granted that, I'm sorry. At this point, I think we bring up President Andy Dorsey to make it official.